Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Excel to Excellence. Today we are going to talk about a very strong formula called sum product. Now this formula is very useful in complex consolidation of data and to build a report. This formula almost works like an index and match, whereby you can actually uh, do the sum of the numbers which are fallen into grid into various columns. Let's go over it. But before that, before we go ahead, please subscribe my channel Excel to Excellence, and we take it from there. Okay, so now before we get started with some product formula, let's understand this data. What does this data show? So this is a data which tells about while making a car. These are these are some phases I've actually taken. I'm not the expert in the car making, but I've just taken an example here. So say for example, we are making Mercedes, and we have phases like design, build, and testing. And under design, there are three activities that needs to be performed. Under build, there are again three activities, and under testing, there are three activities that needs to perform. Now, same phase is for BMW, and if you go down, it's the same case for Audi as well. So I've taken the example of three different luxury cars and the phases of their design, build, and testing, and then different activity under each of these phases. Now, if you see on the top, these are the dates on which I am performing certain activities. And this particular field tells me that during the design phase of Mercedes, the activity drawing will go for 3 days, and the cost will be about 5,000 on 28th of September, $3,000 for 29th of September, and say about $2,000 on 30th of September. Similarly, during design phase, the activity dynamics is going to start on 29th of September, which is on 29th we're spending $5,000, then on 30th we're spending $6,000, and on first October we are spending $7,000. So so forth and so on and so forth. So if you keep going, it is all telling you about the different activities and which date these activities are going to be performed and what is the cost involved for each of these activities. Now, now you have a requirement of making a consolidated report. Now if I switch to the sheet called cost by month and phase, here if you see, you get the name of the car, their different phases. Now the ask is, tell me for Mercedes in these three design phases, what is the cost that is falling in September, October, November, and December? Similarly for BMW and for Audi, I need to fetch the amount which I would be spending in the month of September, October, November, and December. So that, and in the bottom you see the total. So the total spending I have to do in the month of September, October, November, and December. So if you look into this data, now to be able to fetch the data for September, I need to extract the months September, October, November, and December into this particular row. So you get the month September 2019. So I have exactly kept the naming convention as September 19-19. So if you see here, I've been able to extract the month and the year from the above. So similarly, I'm going to copy this and would fetch the months for all of these dates. Now I need to consolidate the data. And how do I do this? So in this particular cell, if you look, I'm going to use the formula sum product. Now in this, what I'm supposed to do is, the best part about this is, if I go here and in array 1, I need to highlight the entire grid where my cost sits. And so the best part is, it doesn't really restrict itself to a particular row or a column. You can pretty much go and select the entire grid. As soon as I do that, I have to lock this down. And what is the mechanism to lock this down? Select this and press F4. You see that this is pretty much locked now. I have to open a, a bracket here. So this is first condition. Now, this is the range which I need to add. Now the first condition, what is my first condition? My first condition is that it should be for the month of September. So where is my array? So I need to select this particular month, and it would automatically fetch as I give as I select September. So at this point in time, I'm selecting the entire array, and I would go ahead and lock this down as well. Now, what I need to do is, I need to say, okay, from this array, fetch me September 2019. And I fetch September 2019. I close this array. I close this bracket. So this is my first condition. And with the asterisk here, this is equivalent to and. So my first is first array is my the entire range of numbers, the dollar value. And here, this is telling me my first condition, that I need to fetch the data only for September. Now the second condition I need to lay here. Now the second condition is, I need to now define which car it is. So I go here and select the entire range for car. I lock this down as well, and I press F4. Now I need to define which car it is. So I will point to Mercedes. Okay. Now I close this. What is my third criteria? My third criteria is the phase, the design phase. I need to fetch the cost of design for Mercedes for the month of September. And how do I do that? I go into the cost sheet. Now I select the phase column. Go down, select the entire phase column, and I lock the phase column here by pressing F4, and then equals to sign, which now I would define design here. Okay, I go ahead and close this, close the external bracket, and you see it fetches the data only for the month of September for Mercedes and the design phase. Let's see if that adds up. So this is my design phase. In this design phase, I have this amount which is shown up in design phase. If you look at the bottom, it is exactly 25,000. So it is actually giving me the value here. Now, what do I need to do? Since the first value is this, I need to lock the the vertical movement. So I have to put a dollar after C2, after C and before 2. So this locks down my September. As I paste the formula in all the boxes, it should not go down. I lock the vertical movement. Now next one, is the cost, which is Mercedes. So I need the Mercedes, this value can keep moving down, but I do not want it to move horizontally. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and lock the horizontal movement, right? Same is the case with design. I can go down, I can let the design, this highlight to the bottom vertically. I can let it move vertically, but I don't want to let it move horizontally. So I'll also lock this down to say, so putting dollar before the alphabet is always locking down the movement, horizontal movement. After the alphabet, it always locks down the vertical movement. I press OK, and this gives me the value. Now I would pretty much go ahead and paste the entire, and if you see here, it gives me the value for design. What is the cost of Merck in design? It gives me $50,000. Now, what is the cost of Merck? The build part, which is 34,000, testing part, which is 33,000. Now, this is by car and the phases. If you go down, it gives you by the month. So you know that by the month, what is the value that's going to come. Let's validate whether my data is correct or not. So the total amount seems to be $351,000. Let me select the whole thing and see if that is true. Yes, it is $351,000. And this is how you can make a consolidated report using some product as a formula, which is a very effective formula, and it helps to kind of fetch the value from the entire grid. Hope this video was helpful. Please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and send your comments, and also hit the bell icon so that as soon as I upload the new video, all of you get the notification. Thank you so much.